everyone. You know you're working hard on your English, right? And reading. Mm. Well, reading can be tough, especially when you're learning all these new words and trying to figure out the grammar.
Oh, yeah. It's a real challenge reading in another language.
Hmm.
But you know what? It can be super rewarding, too.
That's what we're talking about today. In this deep dive, we'll give you some tools to help you understand what you're reading better and even learn how to read faster.
It's all about reaching your full potential and doing it quickly, especially since you're all busy people.
For sure. I bet you've heard that reading can help you learn English faster. Did you know that one study even found that reading fiction can actually make you more empathetic?
Really? That's kind of cool. I guess it makes sense. Stepping into someone else's shoes when you read a story.
Yeah, like a workout, but for your empathy. So how else does reading help us learn English?
Well, vocabulary, for one.
Mm,
You see words naturally in sentences, not just on lists. Makes them stick better.
right. It's totally different from flashcards. It's like hearing a word in a conversation, you know? It just clicks.
Exactly. Think about how you learned your first language.
Mm.
No grammar books for babies, right? You just listened and absorbed it all.
So reading kind of does the same thing.
Yeah. And it's not just words. You pick up grammar too,
Yeah.
just by seeing correct sentences over and over.
So reading helps with vocabulary and grammar, got it. But what about actually understanding what you read? Any tips for that?
Oh, absolutely. Don't start with something too hard. You'll get frustrated if you're looking up every other word.
So stick to kids' books.
Uh-huh. Well, they can be good, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed. Simple words, simple sentences. But there's other stuff out there designed for English learners.
Like what?
Ever heard of graded readers?
Maybe. Not really sure what those are, though.
So they're books adapted for different English levels. You find stories you like, but written in a way that's easy to understand.
Oh, that's cool. Where can I find those?
Bookstores, libraries, usually a section for language learners. Or online, tons of choices.
Great. Any other strategies besides choosing the right books?
Yeah, don't try to translate every single word. Focus on the context of the whole sentence. If you look up everything, you lose the flow.
That's me. So focused on individual words that I miss the whole point.
We've all been there. Your brain is smarter than you think. It'll fill in the blanks like the cat jumped onto the chair. Even if you don't know chair, you get it.
Yeah. Something a cat can jump onto. Some kind of furniture.
You see, context, no dictionary needed.
That's helpful. Any more techniques for understanding better?
Have you heard of the SQ3R method?
Oh! It's actually a way to read actively. It stands for survey, question, read, recite, review.
Okay, not a code, but still a mystery. Break it down for me.
All right, so imagine you're reading an article. Survey means you skim it first, look at headings, pictures, get the gist.
Like checking the map before a road trip.
Yeah. Then question. Ask yourself what you want to learn from this.
So I'm reading with a purpose.
Exactly. Keeps you focused.
Mm.
Now you read carefully, thinking about those questions. Not just reading the words, but actually looking for information.
Yes. After a section, recite. Summarize what you read in your head or write it down.
Checking if I got it.
Right. And finally, review. Go back over everything, make sure you didn't miss anything.
Wow, that's a lot more than just reading.
It is, but it helps, especially with tough stuff.
I'll try it. So what about speed reading? Can that help me get through things faster?
Absolutely. First, we got to talk about something that slows you down. Subvocalization.
Sub what? Now I'm scared.
It's just that little voice in your head reading aloud as you go. We all do it, but it makes you slow.
Oh yeah, I do that. How do I stop it?
Train yourself to see groups of words, not just one at a time, like 3 or 4 words at once.
So my eyes are scanning better.
Right. Takes practice, but you'll read way faster.
No more inner voice for me. What else helps?
A pointer, your finger, or a pen. Move it along the lines as you read, keeps you from jumping back.
Smooths out my eye movement.
You got it. And try a timer. See how much you can read in a set time.
Adds a bit of pressure.
It does. Gradually go faster, but make sure you're still understanding.
Great advice, but how do I actually put this speed reading into practice?
Like, let's say you're reading and you see the weather today is sunny and warm. Instead of word by word, read it like, the weather today is sunny and warm.
So breaking it into chunks.
Exactly. Feels weird at first, but you'll get faster.
This is great stuff. Feeling more confident already. But what about finding the right things to read? You mentioned some resources, right? Books, websites, apps. Let's dive into those in part 2. Welcome back. We were talking about some really cool ways to improve your reading, both understanding and speed. But where do you actually find good stuff to read?
Yeah, that's important. Things that are interesting to you and, not too hard, not too easy for your level.
You were talking about graded readers before the break. Why are those so good?
Oh, they're great because they're made for English learners, just like you. And they come in all these different levels. So you can start easy, and then as you get better, you can move up to harder ones.
Makes sense. So you're not totally lost, but still challenged a bit.
Yeah.
What about websites? Any good ones out there?
Tons. There's one I love called News in Levels. It's news articles. But get this, they write each article in 3 different levels: easy, medium, hard.
Wow, so I could pick the level that's right for me and still learn about what's going on in the world?
Exactly. You could even try reading the same article at different levels, see how the language changes.
That's a cool idea. Any other websites you like?
Project Gutenberg is awesome. It's a huge online library, all free ebooks. They've got tons of classics like Pride and Prejudice, Alice in Wonderland, all kinds of stuff.
Free. I'm listening.
You could download them too, read them on your phone, computer, wherever. So much good literature out there.
Okay, books and websites checked. What about apps? Can apps help me with reading?
Oh yeah, tons of them. One I really like is called LingQ. It's not just for reading. It helps you learn the language in all sorts of ways.
Sounds fancy. What's so special about it?
You can put any text you want into it. And as you're reading, tap on a word you don't know. It'll give you the definition, how to pronounce it, even examples.
Like a dictionary built right in.
Yep, and it keeps track of the words you learned so you can practice them later. Plus, it's got stuff for listening and speaking practice, too.
That's awesome. Any other apps you like?
There's Readlang. It's really good for real-world stuff, articles, blogs, even books in the original language.
So how does that help me learn?
Easy. While you're reading, tap on anything you don't know, and bam, instant translation.
No more looking things up in a separate dictionary.
Nope. Makes it way smoother and more fun to read. You can make flashcards with the words you look up too, track your progress and all that.
This is all great, but so many choices. How do I know which one is right for me?
Think about what you want to get out of it and how you like to learn. Like, if you're a news junkie, News in Levels is perfect. Love classic books, Project Gutenberg, all the way. Want something interactive with tools to help you learn? Try LingQ or Readlang.
It's all about what works best for you. And I guess you could try a few different things, see what you like the most, right?
Exactly. Experiment a little. Reading shouldn't be a chore. It should be fun.
I love that. So I know you've got a challenge for me to actually use all this stuff we've talked about. What is it?
Okay, here it is. Pick one of these resources, a book, a website, an app, whatever. And for 1 week, read for just 10 or 15 minutes every day.
10, 15 minutes, that's easy.
See? The key is doing it consistently. Every day, even for a short time, it'll make a difference. Like exercise for your reading muscles.
Challenge accepted. Can't wait to see how much I improve.
You'll be surprised, I promise. So before we wrap up in part 3, let's go over all the great things reading does for your English.
Okay, let's remind everyone why reading is so important for learning English. We're back, and wow, we covered a lot about reading in English. I'm ready to get started. How about you?
Totally. And, it's not just about being good at English. It's about all the cool things you can read once you're good.
Yeah. Books, articles, you can learn about anything, travel the world without leaving your chair.
It's pretty amazing what reading can do.
Okay, let's get a little deep here. Imagine you could instantly read any English perfectly, no matter how hard.
Ooh, like a superpower.
What would you read first?
Tough one. I think I'd go for scientific journals, all that new research, medicine, space. I'd love to understand it all without getting stuck on the hard words. What about you?
Oh, that's a good one. It'd be so cool to unlock all those scientific secrets. For me, I think it'd be classic literature, all those amazing stories, Shakespeare, Jane Austen. To read them in the original language without any struggles would be incredible.
Yeah, you'd really get all the little details, the beauty of how it's written.
Exactly. It'd be a whole new level of understanding.
It's amazing to think, how much more you can do when you can read in another language.
It really is. So, to everyone listening, we want to know, what would you love to read in English if it was super easy? Tell us on social media.
And no matter what level you're at right now, keep practicing, keep reading, and most importantly, keep it fun.
You got this. Thanks for joining us on this reading deep dive. We'll see you next time.